Thank you very much. Take care. Good night. We'll see you soon.
Okay, what Sunday is this? Awesome. It's going to look a little different this week. Of course, we always look a little different, right? So, I'm going to lead you off with a song, and then I'm going to turn it over to Dan. Dan has a little special process that he wants to share with us, and then we'll end up the service in drumming, okay? We got it? All right. Okay, ready? So let's start with the East. Brings the spirits in to guide us. So it's Hantayo.
Hantayo.
Rotate it to the south. Hantayo.
Hantayo.
West. Hantayo. Hantayo. Grandfather Sky.
Hantayo.
And Mother.
Hantayo.
All right. Here we go. Mother rock to you. Mother rock to you. All right. Oops. Hey, energy's really low. All right, I'd like to turn it over to Dan. And if nobody knows, this is Dan. And he's going to guide us through... you got it all on? Yeah, there you go. I think you got it.
This is a prayer stick made of sage. This was used in a Sundance by a grandmother woman. And as she came out, she handed this to me. The Spirit told me to bring this today because there's someone in here who needs this. I don't know who, and I don't know why. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start it here and then let it move around the room. And if it has a message for you, hold it and take that message. And when you're done, pass it around. And if you would, Darrel, once it gets to you, please just hang on to it because I'd like it back. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
How kolas? How much guys? Antipu wakan. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, ladies. This is the day of the Spirit. How washaki naji imakia piayeyo. My name is Washaki Naji. In the Lakota, that means stands strong. This was a name given to the spirits and then transcended to me through a grandmother woman named Feather Necklace. Kante washtea nape chia zapelo. From my heart, I greet you all with the hand of friendship. I am Dan McDonald. For those of you who don't know, my spirit totem is the golden eagle. It is said that the golden eagle was the first to be made by Creator. It flies high and it sees far. It is also the messenger that carries the prayers of the people to the Creator. And for those of you who are interested, the hawk is the one who brings the answers back. Thank you for allowing me to share with you today. I appreciate the acceptance and the care that many of you have already shown me, and I choose to present this perspective as a contribution to the diversity and the richness of this community. So my purpose today is to offer a view or a perspective of the circle of life from the way I was taught and how I have learned and how I continue to learn. And I mean continue to learn because I don't have it perfect. I do wake up every day glad that I have another chance to get it right. But whether that occurs, it depends on the day. It is not the only way, but it is one of many ways. And for me, it's a way that has value and provides an alternative to thinking in the linear way that many in our society would have us follow. So to begin, allow me to read from Black Elk. He was a Wichasha Wakan, that is a medicine man and a holy man of the Ogallala Lakota Sioux, and he lived from 1863 to 1950. Here's what he says. Everything the power of the world does is done in a circle. The sky is round, and I have heard that the earth is round like a ball, and so are all the stars. The wind in its greatest power whirls. Birds make their nests in circles, for theirs is the same religion as ours. The sun comes forth and goes down again in a circle. The moon does the same, and both are round. Even the seasons form a great circle in their changing, and always come back to where they were. The life of a man is a circle from childhood to childhood, and so it is with everything where power moves. So if you will this morning, let go and let yourselves be caught up in this perspective for just a bit, and see what your sacred center might say to you. The circle of life has also been called the medicine wheel. It's been called the sacred hoop. The circle of life is represented in many ways in many traditions. And the colors of the sacred wheel change depending on the tribe, and the position of the colors change depending on the tribe. It has actually been used to chart the yearly crops and what it is that we need to eat each year. And although the elements vary from one circle to another, in all cases, there is order to the circle. There is direction to the circle. It is complete. It is unbroken. The place where one begins in the circle is the place where one ends in the circle, yet to start again. Philip Deere of Muskogee Creek said, "The entire creation still follows the instructions of life. The tree, the fruits, they never fail. They never make a mistake to bring their fruits in season. The animals never make a mistake. They live as they were created. Among the creation, life, the circle, a measurement with no beginning and no ending. The elements of the circle, however perceived, can be manifested in a situation, a circumstance, a day, a month, a year, or a life." Let me share some examples from history to give you kind of a sense of how the circle might have been used. It has been said that the circle represents birth, infancy, adolescence, adulthood, and death, which could be perceived as fundamental stages of life. You've heard ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It has been said that the circle represents water, fire, earth, and air, which could be perceived as fundamental elements of this globe that we call our home, or earth. It has been said in medieval times that the circle represents happiness, loss, suffering, and hope, which could be perceived as fundamental elements of the heart. In looking back at the old works, you'll see illustrations, and the circle of life looks like an old water wheel. And on that water wheel, at 4 different places, are different representations of man. And they have different looks on their face, and they're in different positions. And the whole idea is that this is a circle that follows itself time after time after time. It has been said that the circle represents the 4 cardinal compass directions: north, east, south, and west. It has been said also in Native American traditions that the circle represents discovery, knowledge, understanding, and innocence, which could be perceived as a combination of the head and the heart. It is this last representation, the Native American traditions, that I want to continue to share with you. And as we travel around this circle, please know that each stop along the way must be honored, perhaps with a meditation or a prayer. The choice is yours, certainly. Each stop, however, must be honored in some way. For this morning, I will share a short prayer with you for consideration at each direction, as I have come to see fit to do so. As we go around the circle, if there are issues that you believe you need to take care of, we will go slowly enough and you can do so. You'll see around the room the 4 flags of different colors. Although you may not be able to stand up and face them, you can certainly face them in your awareness as we go through this process. Let Creator speak to you and speak back as you need to do so. And again, as I've said earlier, the colors of the circle vary depending on the traditions, and the positions of the color on the circle may vary. By the way, has anyone found themselves having to learn a lesson more than once? Aha, I see I'm not the only one. You ever wondered why? Consider this. If we choose to skip a step on the circle, we get to go around again, and perhaps again. The only way to fully walk the circle of life is to walk the circle fully. So let us start in the west. Wiyakbiata. If you look in the back of the room, you'll see the black. That is the west. Discovery is in the west, and the associated color is black. So if you like, take just a moment. If Creator brings something to you, if all of a sudden you become aware of something, and it's something you wish to deal with, now is the time. It is the place where things reside that sooner or later will be dealt with. I say sooner or later because whether planned or unplanned, there will be a time when it is time to face what needs to be faced. Creator may take you to the west to see what needs to be dealt with, or like this morning, Creator may bring something out to you. If that's the case, that's fine. One doesn't know beforehand what will occur. It is the place where discovery begins. Now, at this point of discovery, we can be afraid if we choose to be that way, but it's not necessary. You can be at peace as you go through this process. So I would offer a short prayer in the west, and then some quiet time. I use the term grandfather, but spirit guide or creator or another term of your choosing is certainly appropriate, whatever works for you. So here's the prayer that you might consider. Grandfather or grandmother of the west, from the dark place, show me what it is that needs to change. Bring it out to me. Grandfather and grandmother may bring it out unasked. In either case, give thanks, embrace it, and give it away to Creator, the great mystery, the Wankan Taka. Let it go. It is no longer yours to carry as a burden. Now we'll be quiet just for a moment. So now if you're ready, give thanks. Begin to embrace this process and let us begin to move around the circle. Let us go to the north, which is represented by the red over here. The north, Waziyata. Doctoring and healing and knowledge are in the north, and the associated color is red. And by the way, in Native American traditions, red is the one color that is believed that the evil spirits cannot see through. So you'll see things wrapped in red. You'll see drapes of red. You'll see a variety of things in red. You'll see prayer ties in red as well. It is the place where the doctoring of the emotions, the psyche, and the physical takes place. It is the place where the healing begins and continues. It is the place where knowledge begins to come to us. Knowledge of what the situation is, what the contributors might be, our part, and so on. It is the place of sorting out and making sense. It is the place where awareness continues to emerge. The prayer you might consider in the North. Grandfather or grandmother of the North, doctor my spirit, my soul, my all, so that I may be well again. Give me the knowledge to know what happened and know later not to repeat. Help me to just don't do it again. A moment of quiet. Here you can again give thanks, embrace the doctoring and the healing and the knowledge, and move around the circle. If you choose before you leave the North, you can again give thanks to the West and then to the North. You can make it a cumulative prayer as you walk the circle. So let us go to the East, represented by the yellow behind me. Wiohiampata. Understanding is in the East, and the associated color is yellow. It is said that the spirits come and go from the East to the tree of life. If you were to be at a Sundance, you would notice that the East gate is roped off. When ceremony begins, no human crosses that gate. It is for the spirits only during the time of ceremony. It is the place of the rising sun, of new days and new ways. It is the place of continuing new awareness, of new ideas, of new complexities, and of new ways of hearing life, seeing life, and sensing life. It is the place where understanding is given to those who will tarry there long enough to take in what they are given. It is the place of preparation, providing what is needed to continue walking our path. Prayer for the East. Grandfather, grandmother of the East, please provide the understanding that I need to go on in a good way. We can also thank the grandfather or grandmother of the East for the understanding gained as a function of going through the process of walking the circle. What each step means and the importance of walking each step in order. We'll have a moment of quiet for understanding. Give thanks. Embrace the understanding and move around the circle. If you choose before you leave the East, you can give thanks again to the West, and then to the North, and then to the East. You can make it a cumulative prayer as you walk the circle. Let us go to the South, Ito Kaga. Innocence is in the South, and the associated color is white. It is the place where innocence is returned and new chances are given. It is the place where the youngness of ourselves can start again to walk our circle in a good way. It is the place where we have the opportunity to put into place, just don't do it again. It is the place where we get another chance to try to get it right. A prayer for you to consider in the South. Grandfather, grandmother, thank you for the opportunity to regain my innocence in this situation or circumstance. Thank you for the opportunity of a fresh start, free from the burdens of the past and free from the fears of the future. Give thanks, embrace the innocence, and know that in time you will move again around the circle. Now a moment of quiet in the South. And take a little longer this time and reflect on the various places that you went in the circle and how through the dark place and the doctoring and healing and knowledge and the understanding and now coming to innocence, you get a sense of how Creator will work with you in this process, however you may need it. Again, if you choose, you can give thanks again to the west. You can give thanks again to the north. You can give thanks again to the east and then to the south. You can make it a cumulative prayer as you walk the circle. And if you have done so, you have completed the circle in prayer. There is order to the circle. There is direction to the circle. It is complete. It is unbroken. So now we have walked the circle. We have walked our personal circle of life. And perhaps we now have a new or rejuvenated view of what it means to walk our individual paths. We're not done yet, though. We do not live in isolation. So I would offer that we also need to keep in mind that we cannot always walk the circle of life by ourselves. There are times when others are needed by us, and there are times when we are needed by others. Helen Mollet wrote of this. She says, "I need a strong bond which no one will break. I need a peaceful dream from which I will not wake. I need a helping hand, a firm hand that I can hold. I need a shoulder to put my head on. And mostly, I need a warm heart to keep mine from getting cold. We need to make a circle, the strongest shape that can be, where nothing can come between us, where I can just be me." And I'd like to show you a demonstration. Joe and Val, if you'll come up and help me, please. And those of you who are sitting, you're welcome to join us as we do this. If you'll be on this side. Each of us has a personal circle. And this is a circle within which we live, within which we try to live with others. As we join partnerships, as we join relationships, as we join community, those circles begin to link up. And in that linkage, you have perception and power and strength and other kinds of things that a person alone cannot have. So if one person is weak, the other can come around and protect and hold up and uplift as necessary. And when that person is then again strong, the other person can then back away a little bit and they can regain that particular connection. Now what I want you to notice is that Val never broke her personal circle. Joe never broke his personal circle. Thanks, guys. Let us all remember that there is a community circle of life available to us here. Each of us has a place in the circle. Now, we may see things differently one to another because of where we are in the circle and the issues with which we're dealing. But it is a circle nonetheless. Now, we can break the circle by judging, by condemning, by condescending, or something like that. And in doing so, we essentially set ourselves apart from the circle, and the circle closes back up without us. But I would offer that there are many things in the community circle that are of value to us to prevent that type of thing from happening. Here are 4 for us to think about. The first is compassion. There is compassion in this community circle for where each of us has been, where each of us has come from, and there is safety in that compassion that we may share with others and be available for others to share with us. The second is love. There is love in this community circle for the disappointments, the hurts, and the successes of each of us. And there is security in that love that we may become vulnerable and give love back. The third is peace. There is peace in this community circle from the turmoil of what lies outside these doors, of what lies outside the hearts of all of us that we must deal with. The fourth is strength. There is strength in this community circle to come around each of us and hold us up when we're weak, to help us walk our path when we can't seem to walk it alone. You saw the demonstration. That's what it's all about. It is almost as if there is now a we identity, capital W-E, here in our circle with individuals contributing to the we. If one individual is weak, the we identity, that is the help of others, can carry on for a while, and it works both ways. The individuals can help the we become and remain strong. And it also applies to larger communities. Don't ever forget that there is multiplied protection and strength in our community circle. With all of us here, there is order to the circle. There is direction to the circle. It is complete. It is unbroken. How, Mitakuya and all my relations, Pilamia Yelo. Thank you.